just stay.
Hi, this is Scott Jordan, and you are watching live here at Cellars of Sonoma in beautiful Railroad Square, Santa Rosa, California. We're really close. And welcome everybody to TV Tuesday Live. This is the show where we taste wine, we talk about wine, and I get to interview winemakers from time to time. And we've got one of our favorites in the house right now, John Banbury from Bonneau Wines. John, welcome to TV Tuesday.
Good to be back.
Yeah. So we're shooting outside. This is our new studio location, and it's probably on any given Tuesday over the last 6 months, you could have been out here and be sweltering.
80 degrees.
But tonight, not so much.
Tonight you could, well, if you guys can see Karina, she's got her winter jacket on. Yeah, she's got her winter coat on, and but the sun's out, but it's a little on the chilly side, but
Just
we'll
have
make it.
a cool breeze coming in out of Bodega Bay.
I know Brad Harder, one of our good friends and wine club member, was here over the weekend, and he was telling me that about, was that 20 miles from his house, they had 40 inches of snow.
That's right.
What? 40? I can't even imagine. I come from a snow
Is
area.
that Montana, Wyoming?
Wyoming.
Wyoming,
Okay.
yeah.
So he's not, I'm saying it's cold and he's laughing. Oh, you're nuts. I'm cold. Well, so tonight we're gonna talk about and taste the Bonneau wines. What? Okay, we're gonna taste of course the Bonneau wines, but you have a second label, and we're gonna talk about the second label and why you do it, and how it fits in the marketplace. So before we start, I'll pour some wine because everybody yells at me and says I talk without pouring.
Very good.
This is a second label. First of all,
No, this is.
oh, that's
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
This is
Look, going by color.
okay.
All right.
This is second label. You called it egret. First
Egret.
question is why egret, and then the second question is why a second label? Because the folks want to know.
Well, it's made by Bonneau, but it's not Bonneau. So, rather than to name it Bonneau Select or something, just picked a completely different name. And we have egrets out in our vineyard, and I love how they look. They're snowy white. So, without thinking about it very long, it's okay, I'm just going to name this wine egret. Now, it turns out that there's an egret in every state of the union. It can be found, including Alaska and Hawaii. And it is
Really?
the national bird of the Audubon Society. So it's the symbol of the Audubon Society.
All right.
Well,
So they
should
think highly of that bird, of all the birds they could pick.
Well, we need
So-
to market to them. How do we get to them? They probably would love to have some egret.
Perhaps, but they're very picky. Now, what we could do is if we donated 50 cents for every bottle we sold, then we could get their attention. We should do that, actually.
We can do that.
That's
That's
called
not Nita?
cause-related marketing.
Nita, that's a cause marketing thing. Yeah, take a note on that. We
for
want
all the bird lovers.
right?
Yeah, we could help them out.
Yeah.
There's a
yeah.
tree
we
on
could-
9th Street. It's got, for years,
They
egrets
roost
nest there.
here,
They're there.
that's right.
I see them every time I go to the health club or I'm going swimming outside. I see them. There's, 6, 8 of them. They're beautiful. You're right.
Yeah,
Beautiful
yeah.
birds.
All right, so this is a 2011. You call it a California wine, obviously, because you're taking fruit from several sources, not one appellation. $18 retail. One of the best things I love about the egret wines, I love the screw cap. I'm a big, you could put screw cap on all those wines. I hate trying to find an opener. And
No
I have
corkage.
hundreds of them.
There's no cork.
And there's no cork, so, got a good shot. It's probably going to be a pretty good wine.
So this was bottled in May or June of 2012, and it still tastes as good as the way we bottled it.
Now, stylistically, your Bonneau Los Caneros, we would say that's more on the oaky buttery side. It clearly hits that. What style did you use, and how are you producing this?
Well, this is 85% stainless steel with no malolactic and no oak. But we blend a little bit of the Bonneau oaky Chardonnay in with this at the time of bottling. To give it, that's why we call it lightly oaked.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So you can actually pick up the oak, and now that it's had a little time to age in the bottle, I pick up the nuances there of the oak barrels that were added to this. So it's kind of unique. It's not a oaky, buttery Chardonnay, but it has the oak influence, which adds a little complexity and interest to the wine. It's not just straight stainless.
Now, the Bonneau wine that you're putting in there, is that from the Los Caneros?
Yeah, it's from the Bonneau vineyard.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So for somebody that's getting what I would almost, close to a value wine, great price point, they're getting some pretty heavy duty fruit in the
yeah,
side
because
of that.
the fruit from the Carneros is some of the best in the world, and we're blending this with Central Valley fruit primarily, and that isn't going to give you quite the quality, flavor characteristics that you're going to get from Carneros. But with a small amount of the Carneros, and it really lifts the wine.
It does. It does.
And it makes it a good value. So the cost of the fruit from the Central Valley, less than half.
Wow.
That's the cost of the fruit from Carneros.
Wow. That's
The truth be known, the real value is in the Bonneau Carneros. You're getting really a great value for what it costs to produce and harvest those those grapes and put them in French oak barrels, which aren't getting any cheaper.
No, hell no, they're not.
You're buying them.
They're not on, the French are
Everybody's-
not on your side on this at
They're
all.
trying to raise the prices 2.5% again this year.
Oh, jeez.
Fighting that. So anyhow,
Yeah.
So
Well,
is the name difference though? Is that primarily just because that this is a kind of a more of affordable wine, as opposed to the
It's to
Bonneau?
distinguish-
So that
to
this
distinguish it.
distinguish between.
yeah, to distinguish it at a different price point.
yeah, you can't.
You don't want to compete with yourself.
Well, and you
All
can't.
this one's 18, but these are in the 20s, and we go up to 25 in the egret. And that's about it. That's
Yeah.
the most expensive we are.
Yeah. Well, we have this on the Buy the Glass program, and we have it on the happy hour menu, and they absolutely love this wine. And I get a cross section of people because normally Chardonnay drinkers, they're in one camp and they're not moving. They want oaky buttery and don't give me any of that. And you throw a stainless steel at them, they're not even going anywhere. And the opposite happens for the stainless steel folks. They don't want all that oaky buttery. But my stainless steel people drink this and they like that because it is a lightly oaked. You can get the hint of it, and it does coat your tongue rather nice. But it doesn't overpower you. It's not a giant mouthful. So
Right.
hats off to you. I think they're getting a bargain if they're getting 15% of the Bonneau grapes, baby. That's got a bigger price tag on it. It's not cheap. Good job. Well, that's great value. $18 if you're a Cellar Club member. $15.30. Yeah.
I think I get a little tropical fruit, some stone fruit in there. How do you feel about the flavor profile, Scott?
It's wonderful, and you get the citrus that you would get from the stainless steel, the apple pear, that you get all of that, but you're still getting a little bit from the the oak and the malolactic.
And I think that's what's given it that mouthfeel too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's given it a good mouthfeel.
Because most of those in stainless steel, you're not getting that mouthfeel at all.
A little more acidic.
One of the things, and we're going to run this twice tonight. So one of the things you guys need to start getting on the calendar for is on his property down in the Los Caneros in Sonoma. We're going to have our second lobster lunch. We had one last year. It was really, really good. We had a fantastic time. Thank that guy for
Thank you.
revving his engine.
Well, you said it. The microphone doesn't pick that up.
Not much, no.
Did we get anything on that one, Kern? Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna have the second annual lobster lunch, and let's let the tape show exactly what's going on. Fire up that tape. Let's see what this is all about. All right, so if you really love what you just saw, that's the coolest event, without a doubt. It's in a beautiful setting at John's property. You'll get a vineyard tour from John, and you'll meet the coolest people, and you'll have a wonderful, wonderful time. You'll eat more damn food than you can possibly. You can't eat it all. There's no way. It's impossible. I mean, that's a lot of food, man. That was a lot. Good
They
time.
just keep bringing it. If you do,
Yeah.
no matter how much you eat, you're never going to run out.
No, hell no. We take some home too, in little baggies. That's great. So, great time, and so get your tickets on that, $95 per person, and just call the taste room. We'll get it all hooked up for you. One of the things we want to make sure you guys know about this Chardonnay, you got about how many
Less
cases?
than 100 cases left.
Yeah, less than 100
So we're
cases. That's,
closing it out.
and then you're going to go to.
The 2013, we didn't make a 2012. We just skipped it because we had plenty of this.
Yeah.
And so the next vintage, which we just put in the bottle a month ago,
There's 13.
is 13.
What do you think? 13s.
Same formula. Stainless steel, a little bit of both, lightly oak. I'm not sure what the percentage is right now. I have to go look. But it's 80, probably 80% stainless. No, maybe 90% stainless and 10% oak.
From a vintage perspective, what do you think of 13s so far? Where you,
I thought it
I've
was
had
an
some.
excellent-
I'm just.
It was an excellent year.
Yeah,
I think it's got a lot of powerful fruit. I'm getting ready to bottle the 2013 Bonneau in the 20th of this month. So,
But you.
and it's really good. We don't want to save that chit chat for another.
Well,
But
you
I
know-
do have a surprise for you.
Oh, you do? Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, save it then. So you have to watch. You got to stay with us. You're not going to get the surprise until a little bit later. We'll tease you out on that. I like that.
Okay.
Now, in the Egret series, you got 2012. Again, 2012 in my book, a fantastic vintage year. Everything we've had in the room, everything we've brought in, everything I've tasted out in the valley in 12 is absolutely magnificent. I mean, if you can't make a good wine out of the 12, then you might as well just cash it in, baby, and try something
is
different. This is Zinfandel.
Zinfandel.
All right, so this is Zin. Where did the fruit source on this one come
This
from?
came from the Sierra foothills primarily.
Okay.
But I did my usual, of course I always get my fruit from, my Zinfandel fruit from Dry Creek.
Yeah.
So there's a little Dry Creek in there to give it a little complexity. I think the Zin from up the Sierra foothills is really
Yeah,
good
right,
anyhow. So, but
Did you make anything from there in the?
no, I
Did
didn't.
you have one in the Bonneau
I
label?
have had the Amador County,
Amador. Okay.
but I don't make that anymore.
Well,
Now,
you
Sierra Foothills.
got a few SKUs. You
Yeah.
know.
It's all about, for this, I'm really trying to bargain hunt for my customers. So I'm looking for a good value on the fruit, and then just give it a lift with a little of our more expensive fruit from our better appellations.
In percentage, how much of that would you think was the dry?
10%.
Okay.
And but I'm getting crystal clear the Zin, profile, and that's what I'm after. I want to make sure you can identify.
I'm still getting a little spice from the dry creek. That didn't hurt. And now again, a great value. This wine's $20. That's a great price.
And this is an easy drinking Zin. This is not a hammer you over the head Zin.
Yeah, right.
It's a good foodie Zin.
Low alcohol too.
About 14,
Yeah.
I bet.
14.1.
Yeah, it's relatively low alcohol, and you can see it's a little lighter in texture
Yeah.
than some of the Zins that you get, but that's on purpose. It's a little more.
Yeah, a little bit.
Um,
Brian wants more for sure.
Absolutely.
Let me catch a question here from Karina. Go ahead, Karina, fire away.
So Giselle is wondering if it's the same winemaker for the Ebert line as well as the rest of the Bonneau wines.
Yep.
And
It's produced on the back. It says produced and bottled by Bonneau Winery, John Banbury Vintner. So yeah, no, I'm the winemaker.
and is the
It's-
second label geared towards budget, so millennials?
Budget what?
Oh, is it
Millennials.
geared for the
Not
millennials?
much money.
Millennials?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Were you
newest,
targeting
the
that
newest
market?
Kids
statistics
with
now are
PhDs.
saying
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Say yes. That's good.
Yes. If they're buying, I'm selling.
Oh, it's for a for-profit winery. How interesting.
Brian, I'm selling. That's
Don't
right.
see that very often.
Right.
They all want to make. They want to make money. Wow. Well, that's your target. I mean, that's
And we sell this to a lot of restaurants, and they go by the glass with it.
all day long.
It's a great wine. You're not going to get, a $40 bottle of wine on
No,
it.
but they're getting
By
more
the
than
glass.
$20 a bottle by the glass. They're probably still selling it at 6 or 7. Aren't they? I'm sure they are.
Yeah, it's kind of $8.50 a glass kind of.
Okay.
Yeah,
BCG.
this is a good every Sunday afternoon sitting around and
Yeah.
doing
so
a
some
little
nice
barbecuing.
ribs and yeah.
It's got a great nose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you serve it with in the room?
Well, in here, you could have it with well, if you've got somebody like Al who doesn't want meat, the seasonal cheese plate would go really well with that. There's a little honey.
We
Triple down
when we're doing tastings, we serve it with a real robust cheese for a pairing.
Yeah.
What? Robust cheese. I actually have a great goat cheese, an aged goat cheese that I pair with this at the tasting room. It goes good with the Petit Syrah as well. So cheese is a good complement to Zin.
It's a nice soft wine, the nice soft tannins, very clean. There's no issue with that
And
whatsoever.
what kind of quantities do we have on this?
How much do I have in the warehouse? About 500 cases.
Oh, so we still have plenty.
Plenty.
But it's 2012, man, and I'll tell you what, I have not seen anything that I didn't like yet. I really haven't seen a bad one. And I've looked all over the valley, man. I've tasted everybody's
Have you
stuff.
tried the Boone's Farm apple wine?
The Boone's Farm one was the only one that was a little shaky. But, the box wine one kind of freaked me out. Yeah, back in the 70s. Who remembers that? Must be that old girl over there. Well, that's nice, John. I have no issue with that whatsoever. And again, screw cap. It's ready to go. Reasonably low alcohol, you know.
Picnic wine.
I was out at, I won't tell the name of the winery, but I was out at a winery not too long ago, and man, they were cranking 16 and a half, 17 on the Zinfandel. I mean, it was burning the glass. It was putting a stain on the glass. It was so damn
Oh,
hot.
the alcohol, 17?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely
16
got
of-
KA.
Oh, just over the top.
Yeah.
You know, not necessary.
Too hot.
Well, and that the one I was tasting was $55. So I guess I can get 2 of these.
Three.
And I can almost get 3. Yeah, that's a great value. You guys are getting a bargain on that. So it's $17 if you're a Cellar Club member. If you're not a club member, you need to figure that out. You know, or just pay full retail and buy the same one. I like that. So, all right. So in the lineup, you also have Merlot, which we're not tasting tonight. We've loved the Merlots we've seen. You know, you had you probably had one that the Merlot you had from Napa was kind of special.
That was.
That was, I mean,
I
Oak
got a-
Knoll's a hell of an appellation.
I got a deal from the grower. He was closing out. He gave me 2 for 1. 2 tons for the price of
Oh,
1.
that's nice.
So
Yeah.
I was able to bring out a real bargain.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oak Knoll?
unfortunately,
Yeah.
that was a one-shot deal. It
Yeah.
was late in the season, and we wanted to get rid of the grapes. So.
Well, you're in the
Uh,
right spot. And what the heck? And I'll tell you
But
what.
I really like. Everybody's very high on the new Merlot. It's a slightly different profile, but it's got a lot of impact for the $20 a bottle.
We're pouring it in here. In fact, I was substituting it for another wine because I was out of the one that was on the list. And great reviews. We love it. So, no issue there whatsoever. All right, so I'm real curious. Well, before we go, let me to the next wine. This weekend we've got Ricky Allen Ray is back on Thursday. We had a gal in, Stacy Joy, from last week on Thursday. She was traveling from England and she was on tour and came in and played. You guys that live locally, when I send those emails, you've got to trust me. I find the best damn musicians. We had more fun. She was so darn good. That was a great show. This weekend we've got Ricky Allen Ray on Thursday. We've got what's going on, man? We've got Friday John Pita. At least we hope. John was very sick on Friday, so say a prayer for John. He wasn't feeling good. I mean, really bad.
Was he?
Well, yeah, he didn't even do his sermon. Those of you that don't know, John's a pastor and has his own church, and his dad had to do the
Is
sermon.
that right?
Yeah, he was really he was struggling. So we're thinking good thoughts. John will be ready to play on Friday. If not, we'll rally someone in there, and then we've got Falcon Christopher in again.
Oh, he's coming back.
But yeah, the way the rotation worked out, we normally go every other week with him. We got him back to back, and his son was amazing. That was
Yeah,
we had a lot of fun in here on Saturday night. We had our buddy Brad. Brad's watching right now, aren't you, Brad? Yeah, and you know what, Brad? You know what's interesting? I'm talking directly to him. You know what I found today? I went upstairs. We're doing inventory, right? Which I hate. Poor Andrew. God love him. He counts every bottle in there, and sometimes 3 times. I found 2 magnums of Epos from Napa.
Yeah. That's a key
Hoo-yah!
one.
Well, they would have been gone if Brad had seen those.
If he'd
when
have
we
seen
were
them,
there
they'd
on
be gone.
Saturday. They'd have been gone, and
What
I would have
year?
had some because I was down here. I mean,
What year?
That was it 2006, maybe?
yeah, 6. And the 6s are pouring really nice too. I've got a lot of 6s in that. They're all really, really good. That bottle, I bet you, is rocking. Because in the 750, that was a
That was
killer.
yeah, that's got some great blenders in it.
Oh, baby, does it ever? Because it came from Stagecoach, didn't some of that?
Stagecoach is the primary fruit, and then
Oh, man.
some Petit Verdot and some Malbec.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Another notorious, but unnamed
Yeah.
vineyard.
Bordeaux blend.
I had to say I wouldn't tell where I got it. That's how notorious it was.
But I know where
Those
you
are-
I know where you got it because I think I tortured you one day,
Yeah, you
and then you finally said, "Stop! All right, I'll tell you. I don't really care. It's okay." Well, I tell you what, you know that wine was a lesson for me because when we first opened up, just because of our space, we don't have a lot of room with eight, 9 vintners. And that's a lot. So I would order 3 cases, put one on the wall, one in the back wall, and then one in the back of the room. And I did that with the Malbec, and then went through our normal thing and blah blah blah. All of a sudden I started blowing out the Malbec, and I call up John and I go, "John, you better give me 3 more cases of that." He goes,
I don't have any.
What cases? What are you talking about?" I go, "No, stop holding out on me, for God's sake." He goes, "No, man, I don't have any more of that."
Yeah, it's gone.
That was lesson number 1. I'll never do that again.
But I have a treat for you coming up.
Don't say anything. Don't tell him. It's a secret. You guys gotta wait.
He knows.
I don't know what it is.
You've been around sneaking around the winery. You know what's in there.
I know. I can't wait. I love it.
All right.
You make a great product, and here's the other part, and this is a call out for John. You guys need to really understand this. This is a second label, and oftentimes when you see a winery with a second label, they're lowering every part of the process to keep the price point down because they're going for that different market. John doesn't understand how to do that. He doesn't get it. And that's okay, it's to your advantage. He takes damn good care of this wine, and I can tell you because I've seen it firsthand. He takes really good care, and you really source out the best you can to get a little value to pass it on to the consumer. So hats off for you, John, because it doesn't hold up. And I've challenged people, and I even tried to find wines out at like Safeway to match up with some of these wines we have in here. I couldn't even do it. Couldn't even get in the game, not even close. This would be ridiculous. But maybe what I'll do is do a blind tasting. I'll get a $20 Syrah. See, we'll just do that blind and see how we come out. But the
Let's
quality is in it.
Let's do it with our eyes wide open and close
Okay.
up.
All right. So you know what's happening now. He's saying, "Shut up." It's like really.
Now this
important.
is a
So-
rare treat on this one.
All right. So what's
great.
rare about this,
Well,
John?
the primary
Colors, right?
Syrah.
grapes are coming from Lodi, which is a good growing region for a Syrah grape. But it also has some Mendocino and some Napa.
Ooh,
Napa fruit in there.
Napa where? You can't tell.
Valley.
That same place, the
Napa
one that you
Valley.
didn't tell me about
Nice
before?
nose in there,
'Cause
No, not the same
Okay.
place.
Well,
But
Why'd you go Napa?
I just got a deal on it. There's not much in there, just a couple of tons, but
Wow.
Wonderful. Quite good.
and you know, gosh, it's
Good.
got a
Yeah,
lot
what the
going
hell's wrong
on
with
for a
that?
Syrah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
You got to finish on that.
20
one,
bucks,
too.
baby.
That's nice.
$20.
I'm gonna get me a
20
Zin and a
bucks.
Syrah. Yeah, I know.
I know. Get your credit card out, dude.
I will.
Yeah.
You have it
Get
on
get
file.
Al's account going.
I'll
Light
get
him
a
up.
couple bottles.
So it's got a great nose. Another
look for that.
characteristic
I like
of the
that.
wine, you know, it's got a nice nose. What did we end up on alcohol on that? 14.1. That's real good for Syrah. Syrah, a lot of run up there too.
A question on alcohol came up the other day, and I had my spin on it, which I'll tell you later. That when you go, the question was this: when you go above 14 or above, there's a higher tax on the wine.
That's right.
They give you a variance of 1.5%. At least my knowledge bank tells me that. I mean, this is 14.1. Are you just being too honest, or what's
Well,
there was
if it's over 14 by even just a skosh, you have to declare it. So yeah, no, that's what it really is. It's around 14, 14.1. So put 14.1. If you're going to go 13.9, it absolutely has to be 13.9. You don't have the margin of error at the 14
Oh, so that's the cutoff, because that was
Upper end,
part of the
so-
discussion that
If
we
you're
had.
the slightest bit over 14,
So are you?
then you have to declare it as 14, and it's a higher tax bracket. The winery has to pay quite a bit more. Actually.
It is in the long run. It's a big number.
It's
Any,
another
you know,
50 cents a case more.
Yeah. But
Uh,
times the number of cases, and here we go. It's like all that crap I paid in the city here. You know, it's $10 here, 15 here, but you know, you add them all up, it's
I'm
it's
a
lot.
small producer, and I get a small producer tax credit, so I don't sweat the. If it's over 14, I declare it, and that's that.
Okay, but the variance that we're talking about is only for under 14. My knowledge is that there's a
the
1.5% variance that you can have on your declared alcohol. So if you said it was 13, and they tested it and it came out to be,
It's not 1.5%.
it isn't.
That would be nothing.
No.
It's
No, I mean
A half-
1.5% by volume
0.5% up or down.
is the mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you said 1.5%.
Alcohol.
No.
No?
Just 0.5%
Hmm.
is your variance
Okay.
allowed. But in any event, there can be no variance between 14 and 13.9. It's
Okay.
over 14.
So that's why that didn't. That I kept seeing that same pattern, and I'm going, well, if you got this little margin, why would you?
Why not declare 13.9 if you have a half a point?
13.5 or 13.6.
Yeah,
And you don't see it though. You see what you have, which is 14.1, 14.3.
Yeah, because it's
And you
over
wonder-
14,
Oh, okay.
then you can't say it's 13.9 because if it's over 14, you got to pay the higher tax. The government wants their taxes. That's what it boils down to.
Oh, baby, do they ever?
What would you serve with this that's on the menu, Scott?
Man, well, you know, you could get into your bigger meats without a doubt. You know,
Yeah,
lamb, ribs.
Oh yeah.
You know, we had a nice steak the other night. That was the ribeye was wonderful. This is an easy drinking Syrah. So you don't have to, you know, some Syrahs you they're so dry and they're so big that you feel like you gotta grab a piece of meat and chew on it while you're drinking wine. You don't have to do that. Now you can also go cheese too.
Cheese, yes.
Yeah, you could go with well, huh? Manchego.
Let's try something different.
I have Manchego with everything. No, you know what?
What would you get the tasty fruit though?
Yeah, you can get the seasonal fruit and cheese plate, and that would go really well. That's got a brie. It's a double cream organic. I got the organic. As much as it hurt me to pay more for the organic, we wanted to bring it up.
Well, as far as sensitive guests.
Yeah, the sensitive. Yeah. I thought of him today when I was looking at the prices at the different. I'm going, who would buy
Sensitive
that?
mind.
Who would buy that?
I tend
It's
not to buy that
spinach.
kind of stuff.
It was spinach.
No.
How could you? What makes it organic if it's spinach? What did they do? It's not like it's kosher.
They just they're not spraying for bugs.
Oh, so there's bugs in there.
Yeah, no bugs.
there's
no
bugs.
pesticides.
Then there's
right?
bugs.
And no artificial fertilizer to grow it.
Right.
Well, you know, speaking of organic, and I had this question before about organic farming for wineries, and why are we not seeing more wineries organic certified? What's your take?
Because you can't. Because if you
We
don't
know
put
some of the
sulfites in,
answers.
then you
She's
can't
over
eat
there
the
going,
wine.
give me the
Well,
answers. She's throwing them
the
out.
reason is
Damn, this is
that growing grapes is complicated. And one of the things we fight are monstrous insects that will just ruin a grapevine and grapes. And then mold is a factor, so we have to spray sulfur to protect the vines and the leaves and the fruit from getting mold. It doesn't taste good in the wine. Then you have to keep to get the proper growth in the vine, you have to keep your chemistry basically in the leaves and in the stems and in the fruit. And that means adjusting the soil conditions. And sometimes you have to apply, phosphorus to bring up the phosphorus in the grapes because the leaves are turning brown. So you could try to do it organically, but it's really hard, and sometimes you just need to take care of business.
And costly too. And it's not like you're doing that for free.
Organic farming it can be quite a bit more expensive than the conventional type. And bottom line is, you're running the odds that your fruit will be out of balance and not taste as good as it could and should. And that's the bottom line for me. We do what we call sustainable farming.
Okay. Tell
So
the folks how that works.
Well, sustainable farming is a lot like organic farming, but we take heroic measures to make sure the vineyard's in balance. So if we have to do something to last year we had the phosphorus deficiency, so we added phosphorus to the soil. We added a fertilizer to the soil because the vines were shutting down. We weren't getting the energy to the fruit. It wasn't getting ripe fast enough, and the leaves were turning brown. So anyway, it's called sustainable farming, and the book is about this thick. They come out and they inspect how you're doing. Some of the things we don't do is we don't go running through the vineyard with trucks. We use ATVs or tractors that have low impact to the soil, and just a multitude of things. We could have a show about sustainable farming.
Yeah.
That's what we ought to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Do a little
It's not
video on that.
my brother manages the vineyard, so it's more his bag than mine.
Oh, well then.
Maybe you could invite
What?
him over.
I was going to say, what the hell did I invite you for then?
I didn't know
We got the wrong guy.
I didn't know I was going to be giving a lecture about sustainable farming.
It comes up often though about
Now, something we do is from the winery, we take the seeds and the stems and the must, the skins from the grapes. We take them out to the vineyard. We mix it with horse manure, and we make our own mulch, and we spread that out over the vine. So that's sort of organic? And sort of.
Well, is it safe to say that a lot of wineries try to practice organic farming the best they can within some restraints? I mean, just to be good to the soil and
Fry and
I have a lot of buddies that do some. Very, very few do the organic gardening, the organic farming.
Not necessarily
Some-
true organic, but at least they try to do as much
What's that
organic
called?
that they can do.
Biodynamic.
no, that's really
the
weird.
ultimate.
That's where you.
And there are a few wineries, maybe less than 1% do that.
Well, it's crazy.
It's got to drive up the price. Just like,
Well, it has to drive up the price of the fruit that you harvested from that vineyard that you spent all this time taking cow dung and putting it in a horn and sticking it in the ground and then stirring the thing backwards, and you gotta stand on your head and turn. Oh, it's a crazy. It is. Yeah, it's
like
way
a
out
witch
there.
scene
And I'm not saying you're going to get a better crop. I don't know if you necessarily get a better crop.
Very debatable whether
Well-
you're going to get better fruit. Very debatable.
But I'd love to see maybe a little blind tasting. Let
But out in the valley, Central Valley, because it's a lot of mechanical vineyard tending, they use a lot of chemicals to just make the adjustments because it's faster, better, and cheaper for them.
Yeah.
So
But you
we're
don't
a
have to-
small operation, and we're able to do a lot more hands-on. And my Chardonnay is what our mainstay, our flagship, and that's all hand done.
Well, it is right from when the minute they bring that in. His equipment that he's got, which a lot of guys at his level they don't have access to the great equipment that he has, and the stemmer that you have that's just amazing, and the sorting table. But the stemmer's so good, you don't have a whole lot of stuff to sort because it's clean when it's coming out of there. It's really
Oh,
nice.
and I'm adding some new equipment this year. I'm adding an optical sorter to go past the destemmer.
So
And
what does
so
that do?
It
what-
scans the fruit optically
Really?
and rejects anything that's not perfectly acceptable according to what you program in.
And how does it reject it?
It passes over a table with air jets, and it selectively scans, takes a picture, scans the fruit, and determines if it's a perfectly round purple berry, then that one's good, it passes. But if it's got a little mold on it, or it's bruised or damaged, or if it's a little piece of stem, little shoot of air goes up and it kicks out and it goes into a reject bin, and you only get the good stuff.
Now, okay. So now you're bringing in this other fruit from Central Coast and different areas.
Uh-huh.
Are you able to run it through that same?
Yeah.
Does it make sense to do that or not?
Well,
Change the program.
it does cost extra.
Okay, well that's my point. I guess.
So,
that's what I was
but
asking.
I plan if it's got Bonneau's name on it, we'll be running it through that.
Well, that's a real bonus for anybody that's looking at a wine like this and going, well, I always buy them at $40.
Now, the last
Quality's
couple of years,
price.
the harvests have been dry and good, and we haven't had a lot of mold. But I had my first experience with the 2011 harvest, where I did run the Cabernet through the scanner, and it made a big difference because I was able to reject any fruit that had mold on it.
Now, is that fruit able to be used in some other something?
Well, you could,
No, I mean,
but it would be terrible. It would taste moldy.
Can they? Does it
But you
go in
could
the
make
compost?
something out of it. Some of the French, they like it. They like it moldy. They charge you extra for that.
They never bathe their legs.
Well, all of that rejected fruit that you reject, what do you do with the rejected fruit?
Out into the compost pile.
Goes into the compost.
Okay, so it does have a function.
Yeah,
in the
and
process.
You can't, you can use it, but it would make a very low grade wine. And it's not my objective. My objective.
No,
my objective.
because John, here's the reality, John. They're tasting your Bonneau ultra premium wines in here, and your name is on this label, and they're expecting a level of quality.
Yeah.
I mean, they do accept the fact that it's sourcing from a different source, which is going to be different than what you would have if it was
But we
single
do
vineyard.
use the same winemaking techniques,
Well, that's
regardless
a big,
of the source.
That's a big plus.
Same winemaker.
And that's a big plus. And well, you don't know how to make a bad wine. That's the great part. I love that. Now this is a 2012 Cabernet Sauvignon. Are you blending anything in here? Are you blending anything in any of these other than the
this
varietal?
these are 100% varietal,
Does that say 13.5?
and that is 100% cab. There's nothing else in that.
13.5. Wow.
And
So it's 100% cab?
100% cab.
Where would you say the fruit? What's the source on that?
This is from the Central Valley with a little bit of our Sonoma Valley cab mixed in.
So very similar to what you did in here,
Yep.
where you brought in, one of your staples of the Bonneau label
yeah.
to add a little structure. Again, $20. Really? $20?
It's It's an easy drinking cab. You definitely get that Cabernet Sauvignon varietal character.
Cassis,
Just
super soft.
you could drink this alone or with food.
Now, how are you aging this? What's the
This is aged in oak for a short period of time. This does not go the full 2-year treatment. About a year and a half is all we go.
That's a fair amount. That's not value brand wine that you. I mean, you know, when you start getting into value brand wines, you're in stainless steel with some oak chips, and you know that's about as far as you're gonna see. Or they put a barrel next to the outside of the tank and go, it was really close to the oak. What the hell, you know? So, yeah, there is nothing wrong with that.
That's a nice balance.
And that's an easy drinking, everyday, wonderful wine. You get it at $20, $17 if you're a Cellar Club member. How dumb is that? Cab is good. Is it good, Al? What do you think?
Excellent. Yeah, I like it. I'm getting me a bottle of the Zin, a bottle of the Syrah, and a bottle of the Cab. Has he got a Pinot?
Wow, he has a Pinot too.
A Pinot.
Yeah.
I don't know when he's
Wow.
tasting that, but yeah.
If we can get Al to buy 3 bottles, I can sell this to anybody.
That's mine.
Wow. It's pouring great.
This is great.
Again, gang, it's 2012 fruit, and I'm real happy with what I've seen out there in 12. The 13s, I've seen limited 13s, but what I've seen, I like a lot. I'm so happy with the vintage. Now, talking about vintages, John, you know, we had quite a scare on weather for 14. You know, lack of rain. Never really had a winter except for tonight.
Looks like it's going to be a good year.
And tonight, I'm colder tonight than I was in December. I was in December. You could have sat out here in your shorts, man. It was that nice. But we had no rain, John. I mean, we really didn't have a whole lot. We got some push, you know, late in the season. There was concerns that the water tables would be too low, and if you had any frost, you're going to have problems because you want to put some water out there. You want to save that.
30% below last year, and last year was below normal. So,
I mean, we're past the frost idea. We're not going to have. I mean, I don't think you're going to.
Depending on where you're at and what your access to water is, we're on our vineyard. We're on well water, and all of the vineyards that we get fruit from are on well water.
Okay.
So we don't have a problem at the moment. But some places out in the valley they're going to dry up out there, and Russian River.
Now, do
have
they?
problems.
If they've got that, are they bringing tankers in with water to you know, just get some moisture? I mean, you're only going to put it.
I really don't know what they're going to do. That if it's important enough to them, that's what they're going to have to do.
Yeah.
It'll be
Well,
a
it
rough
just seems
year.
like you really are. You're only talking about late September, early October when it's screaming hot, and now the leaves are curling up. You got to get some water on that puppy. You're going to kill that thing. It'll shut down, right? I mean, isn't that what would happen if they got a little too hot? They just
The others shrivel up. Yeah,
They just-
no problem.
they're like, ugh.
You know, would they lose the vine? Or just the crop?
Probably not. No.
It just
The
would
vine
stop
can
growing,
survive,
though, right?
But the grapes are going to shrivel up, and they're not going to mature.
So then you're almost forced with
They
picking
get what
early
they
or
call
something.
sunburn, you know.
Yeah.
Burn up.
Well, didn't that happen
That
that happened in
a couple of years ago.
yeah, like
Yeah.
2010 or you
Yeah,
know, where
but-
everybody pulled the leaves off and it got 105 degrees the next day. It was like, oh, sunburn. That's really nice.
Yeah.
But the
so-
crop was lower. I have to tell you, John, the other thing I'm noticing on vintages 2010, those wines are bottle aging wonderfully, and I'm really happy with the 10s. And I was worried that was going to be one of those years you're not really sure, but darn, that wine is aging pretty good. So no complaints on the 10. So if you want a nice 10, we've got them. Yeah. In fact, a nice little Pinot I had of yours the other day was quite nice. The Bonneau 2010.
10? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all sold out of that.
Yeah. Well, we're
You have
moving
a
to
few.
next. I have a couple. Just not much. Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
So now do we get to know what the secret is?
Okay.
What's
All
the
right.
secret?
All right. Yeah. Time wise, we're good. So we.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're all right. Oh yeah, we're good. It is. It's time. All right,
What's the
John.
secret?
All right,
What?
come on, John.
Ten
Tell
minutes.
everybody what's coming up, John. What do you got in the bag?
What's the
Come on.
special thing that's happening?
I thought we were saving that for the next show.
No, just at the end of the
you
show.
teased us too hard. I think I know it, but go ahead. Yeah, the lobster lunch,
Well,
and it'd be a lot warmer than it is right now. We have Nita doing calisthenics.
well, one
The
thing.
wine's helping, but not that much.
One thing that I will be having back is we were talking about EPOS, which is our Meritage. We're going to be having Meritage this summer. We'll be making Meritage. I've sourced some fruit from the Garvey Vineyards over in Napa from Rutherford. And
Nice appellation. Those of you that don't know, we're talking about parallel to where we are right now. Just about, you'd be in Rutherford. I mean, it's right there, and it's probably one of the premier. It's a premier spot. Rutherford is one of those special places. Well,
right
you just
in
told
the,
me.
Right in the middle. Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So then we have Malbec and Petit Verdot from the same grower.
So you're talking about Malbec as a varietal by itself?
And then, yes. Okay, so in addition to that, 2012, we got Malbec from Sonoma Valley, from the
Where?
Hunter Ranch.
Where's that? I'm not familiar with
Sonoma Valley?
No, I know where Sonoma Valley is. The Hunter Ranch.
Hunter Ranch is Madrone Road in Agua Caliente.
Gotcha.
On the
I know
Sonoma
exactly
Creek.
where that is. Yeah.
Right on the Sonoma
Okay.
Creek. And then, so we're going to be making Malbec, and we'll be bottling it this summer as a standalone wine from Sonoma Valley.
I will not make the same mistake I made before. No, I will not.
Yeah,
No, I will not.
and we have,
Because Malbec sells. People love Malbec, man. That's hot. Okay, so you got Malbec, and you want to do a Petit
And
Verdot?
that allows me to do a Meritage if I have the Malbec and the Petit Verdot.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to get those ingredients until a couple of years ago, and now they've been in the cellar.
And those are all 12s?
12 and 13, yeah.
So what? You picked a great time to pull them out of the bag. 'Cause
And it just, yeah, that's the deal. You know, it just seems like I've had them forever, but you know, it's 2 years now they've been in the cellar.
So, production-wise, what do you think in numbers? What do you think you're going to have? Low stuff?
You
Medium?
know, we did 5 tons, so that's about 300 cases or so.
Okay. Well, to all of you viewing, it ain't a lot of wine, dude.
No, it's not.
It really isn't. It sounds like a lot, but it really
I'd make more if they'd buy more, but
isn't. Yeah. You
we'll
gotta buy
see.
more. Well, that's awesome.
The
'cause
other bit of interesting news is that I was very lucky, in my opinion, to be able to secure, buy another 60 acres of Carnero's property nearby my ranch.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I kind of knew you were going on the other varietals, but man,
So we are.
Killer.
This is actually used to be an old golf course, and so
in
Sonoma. And so the former owners let it go fallow, and all the trees died. So I took the trees down, and I disked it, smoothed it out. We'll plant hay this year, and then next year we'll plant grape.
and that is fantastic.
Yeah.
And what's going to grow there? What do you think?
Pinot
Nice.
and a little bit more Chardonnay. we still have 1 mile away. We have the Bonneau vineyard, so they're very close to each other.
And will you be able to name this vineyard something?
I named it Mini Me. No, no. I call.
There's a trademark infringement. It's going to be a problem.
And he shall be Mini Me.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I call it Opal Moon Winery. I mean Opal Moon Vineyard.
Opal.
Opal Moon
And a
Vineyard.
Opal Moon
Vineyard. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But at the lobster lunch, he took us on a tour of his property. To
Yeah, and the lobster
Okay.
lunch, you did get a tour.
take a tour for the vineyard.
Well, but it's not a vineyard. It's just a plowed field right now.
Is it?
It's not planted
flat,
yet.
Is it
Like your
flat
place
land?
with the lobster lunch
Yeah.
Is
It's
there
flatland.
is there well on it? Is there water?
Yeah.
You got
there's,
water?
There's 2 wells on it.
A
Probably
house
drill
or
one
anything?
more.
And
No.
no, just dirt.
An old clubhouse.
Oh, I like.
Sounds fun.
I like an old clubhouse. That sounds like a
And
lot
I've
of
been
fun.
picking up buckets and buckets and buckets of ball.
I'm trying to think of where it is.
It's at the corner of Watma Road and Highway 116. So,
can't-
do you know where Carneros Vintners is? No. Let's
yes.
see. You do?
Yeah, I think so.
That's on Stagecoach Road.
Okay.
Just if you come down into the valley.
I'm just wondering if some of those belong to me, those golf balls. I mean, come on. I've lost a lot over the years. A lot of golf balls.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a shame. But
Well,
anyway.
you're going to make it into something that's going to be
Yeah,
so
then-
much better. And
It could turn into having a tasting room there and all kinds of stuff. So we'll see.
wow, that's fantastic.
Caddyshack?
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
Yeah,
Caddyshack.
right. In fact, you could
There's a
start
Caddyshack.
maybe start a label, Caddyshack. Now you got to pay her for something. I love that, John. Great news. That's awesome,
Great.
awesome.
So it's gonna be an evolving story.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Super.
I love it. Well, good job, John. Nice.
Great
nice.
wines.
So,
Enjoyed that.
yeah, no complaints. So when you guys come to the tasting room, depending on where you are, we've got all kinds of values, but we don't compromise, and he doesn't compromise the quality of the product just because it's in the second label and the screw cap. So don't be afraid when you see $20 and go, I'm gonna pass. You're passing on the wrong thing, because you did a great job on these, John, and they're solid across the board, and that's what we love about it. You care about it just like you do on the Bonneau label. And
Brad, you can afford to buy these wines now.
yeah. Your girlfriend ain't gonna care now. Oh hell no. No.
You could buy a case of this wine for what they charge for a couple of bottles of wine
Yeah.
over at the collector tasting rooms on that Napa Valley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And you'll drink it. People buy those expensive wines and they don't drink them because
Yeah, I know, they must sit
they're
on.
too expensive.
they want to save them for a special occasion. So this is a wine you can have any day of the week and
feel good.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was taken care of right from the get-go. I just absolutely love that. So hats off. Good job, John. I want to thank my bloggers that tune in all the time, Brad and Giselle and what I didn't hear from Dan. Dan, where are you sleeping? What was the
Is
deal?
Dan asleep or
Yeah,
what?
good.
Is he on vacation?
And all of you closet, I keep running into people that don't. They
That are
watch the show.
watching,
No,
but they're afraid to say.
yeah, they don't say a thing, and they go, "Oh, I've watched your show for years." I had a guy come in the other day, and he goes, "I've watched your show for 4 years." I go, "Really? Well, that's amazing." So say hello once in a while. Let us
Just
know.
say hi.
And so we appreciate John coming in and showing off these cool wines. Great value, guys. $20, 18 and 20. You're not gonna find that in Safeway. Sorry, not gonna happen. So thanks a lot, Brian. Thank you, and Nita, and what's your name? Karina. What's your? Yeah, the cold girl over there. That's Karina. And thank you guys. And next week we'll talk about the wine specials that are coming up that are available this week. We also have a wine club shipment coming up, and I picked some really cool wines you're going to absolutely love them. John's got one in there. You're going to love that. And this is where you guys just decide to come and hang out with us. No, this is,
And
this is
bring
where-
a coat next time, will
Yes,
you?
I'm so cold. I'm cold. I'm cold, Brad. I'm cold. I don't even know what to say. This is where you discover wine one sip at a time here at Cellars of Sonoma. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye for now. Whoa, look out. Float away.